Good morning, good Wednesday morning. My name is Dr.Alisia Moutry, and I'm hosting the Nyumba Upendo 860 AM 106.5 FM. Now, normally I'm here with my brother, Dr. Kwaku. He's out today, but guess what? I'm not solo. I'm here with the lovely, lovely lady. Who are you, lady?
I am Simone Kilgore. So blessed and honored to be here again with you, my sister. And my brother's not here, but we love you, Doc. And we gonna do what we got to do in your absence today. We know
Yeah,
you
yeah,
present though.
yeah, absolutely. You know he's listening somewhere.
Yeah.
We also got to thank the men behind the scene that's making the stuff happen. We know we can't do it without you. We thank you so much.
Yes.
We
Thank
couldn't
you.
do it without you over there. Also, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And so typically we start our show off with the prayers and permission. And what was nice about today, again, getting permission from the ancestors to be able to talk, to be
Yeah.
able to have the prayers. So what we're doing is
Yeah.
not in vain, but there's some purpose to what we're doing.
Yeah.
I know I only got the prayer from my mom, which she always provides us with the prayer. But Kwaku sent a prayer. He sent it via text.
Okay.
You don't just have to pray in my ear, but sometimes you can just send me a text. And
Yeah.
he absolutely did that. And I appreciate Dr. Kwaku. I appreciate you, Mama, for always lifting up the show
Yes.
because, again, what we do is not for ourselves. We learn from what we put together, but we pray that the information will bless and touch somebody at the right time and at the right moment.
Amen.
And so we're going to start the show off today also with a couple of public service announcements. You
Yeah.
have one, right?
Yeah, I do. From Big Ink MKE. We're so excited. Anytime there's summer programs, y'all don't get to say nothing is available for these kids. So this summer they have youth career readiness, which,
Mm.
yeah, we need to help these babies
Let's
get
get
ready.
ready.
Okay. Ages 15 through 17. The program is August 12th, 19th, and 26th. Those 3 dates from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And the location is Big Ink Training Center at 4727 West Center. So if you want to find out any information, you can call 414-231-9099. 414-231-9099. Youth Career Readiness, ages 15 through 17. Let's
Get the
get these
babies,
babies some
get them ready, get them ready.
jobs.
And then we have one more public service announcement. We have the 11th
Whoop,
annual
whoop.
Denim and Diamond Scholarship fundraiser. So we're
Yay,
talking about
yay.
raising money for kids to be able to go to school.
Yeah.
That 11th annual Denim and Diamond Scholarship fundraiser will be held on September 5th, 2025 at the Wisconsin Club, the Country Club. It's on, again, September 5th, and it starts at 6 o'clock. And one thing you should know, this is the important part.
Mm-hmm.
You got some hosts that you may even know. You have your very own for this event, Dr. Kwaku and Dr. Alisia Moutry in the
Love
house.
it,
So
love it,
come and
love
check
it,
us
love
out
it.
for the Denim and
Okay.
Diamond. So we got the
Okay.
public service piece. And then the second part of what we do, typically when we start our show, we dedicate the show to somebody.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
dedicate it to an ancestor. And so we're going to dedicate this one today to Dr. Gerald W. Jones. And so
Yes.
if you had an
Yes.
opportunity this past Sunday to be a part of his celebration of life, it was amazing. Matter of fact, I want to give the family kudos, not only just the family, but those that were behind the scene to make
Mhm.
that a celebration that was like none other. It was beautiful. And so when I think about why I'm dedicating it to the show, I think about the service. So when people have services or they have weddings, it's time for us to personally reflect, right?
Mhm.
And so as I was sitting there and I was attending the service, there's a couple of things that I personally reflected on. And so, Jermaine, I'm going to try to do 2 minutes. The people had 2 minutes to speak. Don't try to give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, watch out now because I'm gonna start the music.
I know, because they did.
Sometimes them people know how to shut you down.
Listen.
They do.
They're not
Listen,
shut down in 2
listen.
minutes.
But
Cut
would
you
you
off.
say that at least 70% of the people did it in 2 minutes? Would you say that?
I would say,
People did good.
yeah, they did good.
There were
but
a few.
yeah,
there were a
was
few we had.
that, thought they was gonna strong arm the time, but
You know what I'm saying?
due to the volume of the organ, you weren't
Right.
able to do that.
But I did notice.
Go on the organ.
And I do know that organ got a little loud. You start
Oh,
off with
you
a
better
silent
believe
one,
it.
right? Then it went up just a little
Yeah.
bit further.
Yeah.
That's your hint.
Well, I'm gonna do less than 2 minutes, but I just got it. He gonna try to set the timer. Don't do it for real. Okay, stop it. So, but what I reflected on while I was there on the serious side is that there were a couple of things that stood out to me. One, I believe that when you are living the life that you live, you have to really let it speak for you. So as
Yeah.
I was sitting there at the service, I'm listening to all these people talk, and I'm thinking, what are they gonna say at my service?
Yeah.
I literally was sitting there
Interesting.
thinking about that, right?
Interesting.
And so when I was there, what I noticed, I saw young, old, I saw men, I saw women, and they were really taking a wonderful time to be able to speak about how Dr. Jones has encouraged them or how he has supported them.
And
I'm thinking,
just his career trajectory
absolutely,
is encouraging.
You
right?
got it.
We're still in his legacy.
Yeah.
That's where we sitting right now.
Yeah.
Talking to the people, but it was all a vision and a dream at some
It
point.
was,
And
it
I
was.
mean, to have somebody put it into action and it's still in place,
Yeah.
whether his physical body is here or not, his presence
There
is
you
here.
go.
And
So
the
that
beautiful
was one thing. So all the
Yeah.
different people that spoke.
Yeah.
The second, I got 3 points. I'm almost to my 2 minutes. The second point was the boundaries that they talked about. So one of the daughters got up and talked about, Stacy got up and talked a little bit about like how he did so much for the community. Well, you as a family, he respected his family. He set boundaries for that family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That they kind of stayed out of the limelight. But what she was clear about is that if they needed him,
Yeah.
he was right there.
Yeah.
So I love that part right there. But you got to be able to set boundaries. And then the final one was, at the end of the day, you also have to be able to have balance. And he had someone that was his balance. And that was I call it a team, but Ernestine Jones, they gave some kudos to Ernestine Jones, because typically behind every good man, there's a strong woman holding him up, or person.
Let's give it up.
Let's give it up for her too. So
Up.
those topics that we just talked about, being able to be encouraging to somebody, to be able to support somebody, setting boundaries, having that balance, that kind of leads us into our show topic for today. I know, Simone, you and I have talked about it on several occasions about sometimes where there is one-sided relationships.
Yeah.
Like one person's doing more than the others, the other one's doing the other. But I want to tell you about the show topic today. So the show topic today is called No More Discounted Relationships. Full price energy only. I don't, full price energy only. So when we start talking about relationships, that gave you chills. Like, let's go. Yeah, that's right. Because many of us have been involved in one-sided relationship. So Simone, I have you on, and we're gonna just have this dialogue. And gentlemen, I encourage you to just kind of chime in when you see it as appropriate. But when you think about that relationship, let's just start off on the positive. So, like, when you think about that effective relationship, that healthy relationship, what do you think about, Simone?
Well, you made me thinking about this topic, really kind of do this evaluation. I think you get there in life. I'm in my 50s, and you get to where you have to reflect back and see, is this still servicing me in the way that I need? And that service should change. I should not, just to tell a little bit of my business. When I was going through a separation and divorce of the husband I had been with 16 years, we kind of grew up together, still good friends. The idea is, though, he said to me at some point, "You've changed a little." And I said, and I hope to.
Oh,
for the better,
right? For
the betterment of me, for the betterment of you and us, of course. But in real life, you should be changing. We met when we were 16.
Right.
So the idea around relationships and evaluating them is thinking about the time and what you needed in the beginning of it. You may not need anymore. And so some of the things we know that we want folks to have as characteristics of their relationships is mutual respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all times, whether you're growing, whether you're slow, whether it's a process for you, whether you're not where your partner or friend is, that's okay.
Right. And can I just jump in there there real quick? So you brought up a really good point. So we're talking about all relationships. So as your listeners, as you're listening in, don't think we're talking about maybe the romantic relationship, but there's many kinds of relationships. There's sibling relationships. So as we talk about these things, whichever relationship come in your mind and your heart, we want you to go there. So it could be a relationship with your job.
About this too, because it made me think, thinking about the different relationships. Sometimes, when you have a couple that's married and they got friends, that's a couple. And y'all might not always agree on the same thing. Some stuff just ain't my business over there at your house with the Moutrys. That's what y'all do. And we could be good friends, but we don't have to be on the same wavelength. That's just to put something in your mind. So, of course, mutual respect, that means honoring boundaries, which you talked about with Mr. Jones today. Honoring boundaries and honoring the other person or person's choices. Emotional safety. Am I emotionally safe enough?
Now, we're going to have to dig into that one a little bit more.
Okay.
Emotionally safe. Come on, keep going.
I'll keep going. We're going to go back to it.
Okay.
Authenticity and honesty. If somebody is fake flagging, fake flossing, floss fag lagging, all the things, I don't really want to. I'm just a little too authentic for that. I tell on myself. I tell the truth about myself. I'll have to check myself. And if you my sister girl or my guy friend and you say, Mom, we need to talk to you, I'm here. I'm going to hear that. So it's hard to be in a relationship with people who are not honest with themselves and not authentic with
And
themselves.
different sometimes with
They
the way
can't
you
be
are.
with you.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
can't be honest and authentic
Right.
with you if they're not with self.
Got it.
And then reciprocity, how do we give and take? Alisia, you might offer me a great reprieve, but maybe I don't offer you that.
Mm.
But I need to be able to offer you something, and you need to know what that is. You need to be able to identify with the people you are in relationship. What are you getting from them, and what do you give? What are you applying to the relationship? Growth and accountability. I want me a partner, a sister friend, a group of people that's like, Moan, you can do it. And then you also want joy, shared interests, trust, minus possessiveness.
Oh, come
It's
on.
so many things. And I know we got callers that have ideas too, but these are just some of the ingredients thinking about it from a healthy standpoint
Right.
or a therapeutic standpoint. If you want to review relationships in your life, think about some of the 8 things that I mentioned, and we can go into them later, but just something for folks to review and see, is this relationship still something that is benefiting me? And how do I want to carry it out?
Okay.
You don't have to end them. You might have to shift
You
them.
may have to shift them. Okay, I love that. And I'm ready to dig into some, because
Let's
right away
go.
when you use the word joy, when you think about relationships, how many of us have friendships or relationships? And again, I'm going through all these different. You got romantic, I got friends, I got cousin and family relationships, and it sucks away your joy. And part of the show we're going to get into, we're talking about these characteristics of what a healthy relationship look like. We're talking about what a non-discounted relationship look like, but then we're also going to get into, at some point throughout our show, we're going to talk a little bit about, like, why do people stay there? Because that person is not bringing you any joy. Matter of fact, they're causing you stress. And then we're going to end with, we always end with some strategies. What you going to do? Oh, what?
Or your parent.
So we're gonna dig into all of that. So when we start talking about that whole joy thing, that's the one that just struck a chord with me. I'm, as you talk about getting to certain parts of your life, now I'm at a point now, if in fact I'm with you and I feel like you causing me stress, you causing me like unhappiness, or I feel like you're dumping on me, meaning I got people that I've had relationships with, and I promise you that I felt like I was the garbage truck. They came and they just dumped it all on me. Dumped it on me, and then they was happy and gone, and then I'm left with all the trash that they left with me, right?
Well, they feel better.
They
they dropped it off.
they just dumped it off on me, and here we go, right? So that's one that just kind of stood out with me, and so I just questioned and again, we're gonna get into why that happens a little bit later, but that is one that just really, really stuck out to me. Any other ones that come to you?
The one that I think really where I am now is this whole mutual respect of honoring boundaries and choices. Like I'm really, and it could be
boundaries and
changes.
Choices. Okay.
You got to honor my boundaries. You got to honor my choices. My no is no, and I don't owe an explanation. If you love me, are we in love? Are we in relation with each other? And I say, not today, or I don't have it, or I can't do it, or I'm sorry that you're going through this. I really will be praying, but there's nothing that I can physically do to help. Then that needs to be respected. For me at this point, I'm honest with myself. I'm going to be authentic with myself. There's some things I'm getting for myself the way I need to. Emotional safety is nice, but you got to really have trusting relationships to do that. And I feel like I do. But for me right now, I think the major one is that mutual respect.
So let me stop you right there for a second. So we're talking about right now, no more discounted relationships, full price energy only. And we're talking about one-sided relationships. And again, we're going to be talking about what that means as far as relationship. We're going to be talking about why people settle for one-sided relationships. We're going to be talking about strategies. We actually have a caller on the line. Caller, do you have a comment or a question?
I have a question and a comment.
Please.
Okay, within myself, I was in a relationship for 34 years, and it was one-sided, but that's something I had accepted at that time. But as the years got going on, I got tired, so I had to let it go. And it's more. I got more peace today because I don't have to worry about that individual, and I was taking care of him, literally. But that's what I chose. But then when I found out that he was never going to marry me, I said, well, I'm doing everything a wife do, and I'm not gonna get the benefits, so I have to move on.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
so
you
that's the
know,
thing too. That's a thing, caller. Thank you so much for that call. It
yeah,
actually really is leading us into that expectation piece. Whatever
Thank you.
expectation this sister had in
Mhm.
the beginning
Mm.
may or may not have been communicated with that brother.
Mm.
Because a lot of times in relationship,
Okay.
we make up what we think we about to get out of this.
Mm.
My best friend in middle school, we gonna hang like this. She gonna like me like this. We gonna laugh and giggle like this. If I like boys, she going with me. If I like to hang out over here, we make up things that we don't communicate.
Mm.
One of the key factors I would say to anybody in any relationship, your expectation of what the relationship should hold, the values of it, the perspective of it, where we're going with it, needs to be discussed. I laugh with my friends. We laugh all the time. Be like, we are really good friends. We really support each other. We are really hearing the good and the bad. I know Toya got me this way. I know Quita got this. I know Alicia got this. I know Doc gon' I know what my relationships mean to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what I can get from them.
So one thing that she said that really stood out to me as well, she talked about she was doing these things
30 years.
30 years with the expectation of getting the
Yeah.
ring.
Whether she knew or
If
not.
she right there, you
whether
go.
she knew it, whether she was downloading
Absolutely.
that was the expectation.
So where I was about to go with that is to say, should we be, and we can talk about this at some point, but should we do things based upon thinking that we're going to get something out of it? Should I be just doing it because that's what I want to do?
I'll say a big fat yes.
Come on.
Listen,
Come
I
on. Come
save
with it.
money
Come
to
on.
buy new things or cars or pay off debt.
Okay.
I exercise to ensure that my health is okay.
Right.
If I am investing in a relationship,
Putting the time, putting the money, putting all the blood, sweat, and tears.
if I'm doing it, there is an expectation
Got
that
it.
I have, and that's not wrong.
Yeah.
What's wrong is the brother don't know the expectation. So he can either say, I'm in or I ain't.
Right. Or you may know the expectation too. He may have told you.
He may
I'm
have
good
told
with
her.
where we are
He
right
may
now.
have.
Right.
Well, then we got the mutual respect that's missing.
Yeah.
We might have the growth and accountability missing. Maybe he
Right.
was extremely accountable. Maybe he did share, I love you very much, sister. I want to be with you, but I don't plan on being married.
Right.
Maybe it was just she grew out of whatever cycle she was in where she was servicing and taking care of whatever she took care of in the relationship, which she should never feel bad about or feel discounted in. It's about when she looked back and said, it's not benefiting me, and she got out.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that is okay.
okay.
I agree with you on
Yeah.
that. That leads me to one of the other characteristics that you brought up, and it was about the transparency.
Mm.
Sometimes we're in relationships, and again, I'm going with all from family to coworkers, and it's not clear. And that's when I use the word transparency. It's not clear at the very beginning. What does this relationship mean? What do I need out of this relationship? And oh, by the way, is it different depending on the setting that we're in?
Oh, do they switch up on you?
Sometimes, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
transparent. I mean, I'm not being transparent with what our relationship really is.
It's interesting because you have to be careful. I know my mother would always say,
Mhm.
be careful, Simone Renee, because you think that's your friend.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
they want something. That my mama laid that on me. She can't be wrong, right?
No.
She could be wrong, but she wasn't about that. About thinking through and evaluating my friendships. Is this friend hanging with me because she like my boyfriend? Because that happened. That happened before. What'd you say, Brother Jermaine? Yeah, that happened before.
Go ahead. What you got to say? You got something about that one?
That
He
happened
had to
before.
come on the mic for this. What you got to say?
They both said, yeah.
I'll plead the fifth. on
Don't
this thing.
plead.
No, don't plead. Come
Don't
on.
do it. You done got all up on the preacher's pulpit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That went there. We went there for you. Sometimes people team up with other people because they either get a ride home from school every day, and I want to get in that car instead of walk.
Or it
He
could
cute.
be trauma bonding.
It
too.
could
Okay,
be
okay, come with it.
trauma
Give me
bonding. Some
what you
people
talking
Could be
about.
trauma bonding. Well, I know it was a situation. I went through a situation a few years ago, and as I was going through the situation, I met a young lady that was going through pretty much the same situation I was going through.
Mm.
Connection.
and it was like how we linked up. We linked up talking about our issues and what we was going through. But then we began to see each other.
Yeah.
But then when I got out of that phase and moved on in my life, we didn't have that same connection anymore. We was only connected because we was in the same place at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got out of that place and moved to the level, I realized that, hey, wait a minute, this is birds of a feather. And I didn't want that. So,
Yeah. Birds of a feather that flock together for a moment in time.
yeah,
If you tapped into something different in your main, mean I want to be free from this
yeah,
pain. I
yeah,
don't want to feel like this no more. I know a higher power. I'm gonna trust him and fly.
yeah,
One of the things you do when you release yourself from situations and bonding in friendship, whether it's toxic bonding, whether it's toxic bonding over a purpose. I've bonded with people in the community over
over
community
children.
work,
We have children together.
children
I have to.
together.
Mhm.
We bonded over that. We bonded over being in church together. We all
Yeah.
grew up together. Sometimes you gotta let people go because God is calling you to do something
Oh, can
different.
you say that one more time
I
now?
said
Come on.
God.
Huh?
I said God.
Yes.
God is calling you to do something different.
Mm.
And when you just small mistake, when I had pulled back and not done what He told me to do and let go of what I need to let go of, I paid the price.
and paying that price, he loves us so much. That God that's in his son, that's what the scripture makes it. So you gonna have to go through that season of
Gotta go.
because you get this and you gonna I'm not gonna let it kill you, but you gonna realize that next time you gonna be obedient to what I
Yeah.
tell you.
And don't your eyes open up differently?
What?
You now
Yeah,
recognize
yeah,
if I'm connecting with somebody based on
yeah,
trauma, if I'm connecting with somebody based on their need for
yeah,
me, and I like to be needed. You
yeah.
want to talk about
We
that?
got to get, but you know what? I do.
Okay.
I'm about to put a
Okay.
pause, and I don't even want to put a pause. I want to go there right now,
Okay.
but I can't. I hear the music that can be. Hey, you're listening to Nyumba, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. I'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. 860 AM, 106.5 FM. I am your host, Dr.Alisia Moutry, and I am joined with the most beautiful Simone Kilgore. And if you were listening in, we've been talking about one-sided relationships that many of us have been involved in, but today we're talking about no more discounted relationships. Full price energy only. And so we started the show off with talking about some characteristics and some key components of great relationships. And right before the break, Simone and Jermaine started talking about sometimes you get in relationships because and based upon a need. And Simone, I had to stop you because the commercial came in, but I need you to keep going with that. Where were you going with that?
This idea of need. Everybody has needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization is at the top, but everybody needs safety and security, water, shelter. People need certain things. By the time you get to the top of Maslow's pyramid, self-actualization, in between there is these things around relationships and self-esteem, self-image. And in there is this idea of what you need to feel most like yourself, to feel actualized, to feel self-actualized. Some people have modeled behaviors in relationships where they are the key person. Everybody go to Big Mama. Everybody go to Uncle JJ. You know, they're that person. Yeah. And so many of their relationships are based on people's needs from them. And if I only identify as that person and give everybody what they need, what am I getting in return?
Who's giving to me?
And then guess what? Maybe me feeding the need is what I need. You have to really dissect it. I cannot tell you how many therapy sessions I am having with people to help them identify what do you need now in this relationship, in these relationships, that you used to need this, but now you need something else. And is it to be needed? Do you need to be needed? That's a good question. We did get a text. I love it, from our sister and our queen, Miss Jeanette Herrera. Thank you for reaching out, Herrera Mitchell. And she shared that some queens and kings try to re-raise the people that are in their lives. And I think that's back-breaking work.
It is.
That's back-breaking work. Thank you for that comment.
We appreciate that. We really do. But she's bringing up a really good point. Yeah. And so there are just even a couple of more things like raising folks. That's sometimes why we get involved in relationship. But that can be one-sided, because if you're doing all the raising, who's helping you?
Well, that's all about growth, right? Even think about your children or your nieces or your siblings that are 50 and you 50, but you trying to re-raise them to be better. Sometimes you got to sit back and look and let people be what they gonna be.
Well, listen, can I go there? You raising them. Sometimes you raising them and try to make them like you. Okay, so that's bringing them. That's bringing back another point. One of the other characteristics of an effective relationship is about people having autonomy. And being an individual. So partners maintain their own interests. They maintain their own friendships while nurturing their connection with each other. So I've been involved with friends that I can only be your friend. That is a one-sided relationship. I need to be able to be a part of you, but we got to be able to have our own lives.
We have to. Right? I don't have to like the same store you go to.
Can you say you don't have to like the same store?
I don't have to have your same flavor. You got a jamming flavor. It's yours. I don't have to take it type thing. So that goes back again to the mutual respect, the boundaries and the choices. If you going out of town with your Delta sisters and me and you ain't going this weekend, we ain't going this weekend. And I should be able to say, sis, how was it?
Yes.
Tell me everything. I'm so glad you got away. And that should be okay. And I shouldn't feel slighted. Yeah. For those that do, you have to be able to pay attention to the little innuendos people saying when they ain't quite happy for you. When they don't quite want you to have that autonomy, when they don't want you to exist beyond existing with them and for them.
Yes. That is so
That's
true.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. And I will say that I've been married 31 years, about to be 32. I will say one of the keys to it, though, is we're getting up there. We're getting up there. How can I be there when I'm only 35? But that's a whole nother stuff. Like, I know I'm talking crazy. But one of the things that I want to talk about within that relationship is that's one thing that we both do well. We travel well together, but we also do our own thing. He left and went to go ahead and go to the summer league with his friends to watch the basketball games in Vegas. I'm not hating on that. I'm not like, why are you leaving to go? I'm like, go have a good time. Matter of fact, and there you go, because I'm gonna be taking care of myself when I do. The mic and say, oh wait, what you got to say? What you got to say?
If you can handle maturity. maturity.
I think they don't like the other person to have a good time either. So
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
That's big.
That's
They
dangerous.
don't want them to
Exactly
be
it.
happy because they're not happy.
That's dangerous. When you are
That's
in a
good point.
relationship, friendship, partnership, romanticship, neighborship, it's a lot of stuff going on in churches,
Yes.
Yes.
spiritual cliques, religious cliques. When you are in a situation where you are doing something that should be edifying and uplifting and happy for your life, if I'm your friend, I'm happy too.
Yeah.
You get a new car, you going on vacation, you getting retirement, we having a party for you. It's about you. If I can't be a cheerleader on your team, you need to. I don't tell people to get rid of people, but I do think that they need to evaluate the relationship. Why do you keep wanting to tug at somebody who ain't quite happy for you because you used to having them around? Because they've been your friend since 7th grade. Because they saw you through some tough stuff. That was then.
Yeah.
Right now, they can't be happy for you.
Right.
And I don't want that energy.
Right.
I don't want to decipher what to do with your spirit when it's off. You putting that response. See, that's the thing people don't know in a deep, deep, deep psychological way. When you got a friend that don't love you, that can't be happy for you, that can't accept change in your life,
Matter of fact, get jealous.
that
What about
be
that
jealous,
part?
that can't move how you move. What you say? My mom used to say, jealousy is deep because people don't know when they jealous of you.
Ooh.
That's the thing about jealousy. It's a feeling and there's actions, but they don't always identify it as jealousy. They might identify it as you think you are that.
Oh my goodness.
Or they might identify it as you really don't need to be buying no new house and having no new car and retiring and traveling. You need to slow that down. They don't recognize it as something within them that is going to cause havoc in the relationship and put a barrier between us. Because although you roll with me every time, that don't mean you ain't hating on me. And trust and believe that hate in that pot.
Yes.
That's gonna make
Stir
it a
it
little
up.
bitter.
You
That's
know what?
that deep hate.
That make it a little
I
bitter.
saw this minister on TikTok yesterday. I wrote this quote down. I was like, I don't know if it's going to be appropriate for this show or not, if it's going to be used. But listen to what the quote says. People are jealous because they don't like how they see themselves when they see you.
Or in your
Amen.
life. Or in your life.
In your life. So when you just
Amen.
made that comment, that you just think about that. And again, if we're in relationships and people are doing this and making you feel some kind of way because you have a life outside
it has hurt
of
me
them
deeply to my core because I want them to come with me.
Right.
I want them to
Be
love
happy
me
for me.
anyway and be happy for me like I be happy for you. But when you hear slight like, I know how you got that job. I wonder if that person is doing this or doing that. Or you think you all that now. When you hear those slight comments and things coming up, it's okay for you to say, hey, can we talk about this? Come on over for lunch, or let's go to dinner, or let's just sit on the front stoop and talk about what does that comment mean? Because when you say that, I feel some kind of way, sis.
Yeah.
And I love you so much. I want you with me. I have had conversations and cried tears.
Yeah, there we
with
go.
women.
So we gotta know how, and we gotta know how to be able to do it. We're gonna talk about that. But we actually, if I'm not mistaken, we do have a caller. Is that correct?
Yeah, excited.
Caller, you have a question or a comment?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum to you, ladies, and to you, brother Ride Out. I just wanted to say, I absolutely and emphatically agree with everything that you all have spoke about concerning relationships, and personally, I am the type of person that, as when America threw off her tyrannical oppressors, the monarchy from England, when they said that when the point reaches that there are irreconcilable differences, this means that the best thing for us to do is to separate. We must sever ties. And in the Bible, Moses was traveling with a wise man, and as a child, and he questioned everything the wise man did. And at a particular point, the wise man informed him as to why he did what he did. But at the end of it, he said, "This here is the parting of our ways," meaning that we have to go. You have to go do what you have to go do, and I have to continue
Yes.
onto what I have to do. Because if we are to attempt to stay together, it will nullify us both, and it would void us out and make us both living a regrettable life. And that's what
Ooh-wee.
leads me to what I wanted to say.
You preach.
The Honorable
preach.
Minister Louis Farrakhan said that friends grow together. And the Holy Quran says that men are made in degrees. Some are for the forefront, some are in the middle, and some are for the back.
Mm.
Everyone serves a purpose. But when it comes to relationships overall, if it is something that is non-productive and that it is always confrontational and absolutely difficult, then before the explosion, then I think that it would be best that the one that has a futuristic vision of life would do themselves or herself a great service as to dismissing themselves or him or herself from that particular relationship with that particular individual.
Got it.
Because you're going to end yourself. Thank you.
God, my brother, I thank you so much. Your words are well received. And believe it or not, I could have paid you for this. Just you are really the segue into why do we stay together?
Yeah.
Because we know that sometimes it can be good when we do part.
Yeah.
And based upon maybe that season, based upon maybe for a reason, maybe we need to separate. But a lot of times people stay in that one-sided relationship. Sometimes people stay within that discounted relationship. It's not a full price.
People do. They come to therapy for it and they leave therapy in the same situation sometimes.
There we go. But I know that you are going to start. Look, it hurts.
It's painful.
But brother, they should part sometimes, but they don't. And we want to dig into a couple of reasons of why people stay in these discounted relationships. Why do people settle for a one-sided relationship? Some of you want to start us off with some of those things on. And again, I want you to listen in because you've been thinking about a particular relationship as you've been listening in. I want you to think about the one that's on your mind right now. And as we begin to talk about the reasons why people stay in one-sided relationship, I want you to take note to the items that hit home for you.
Well, one of the things I would like to bring up, thanks again, like Doc said, to the caller, that was a phenomenal kind of overview you gave. But the sister that called prior to you that talked about her account of 30 years, one of the things that I would try to ask her is tell me a little bit more about who modeled relationship behavior for you. We keep black folks keep black cycles. And brown folk keep discounting modeled behavior. If I saw my mom and my dad stay married for 100 years and all they did was fight and drag each other, fight and drag.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do,
her. I mean, verbally, spiritually, emotionally, they just was yucky. They just yucky. But they stayed. My parents stayed married 60 years. Yucky. You're going to think that I'm going to do the same thing. But I might came from a sister who left a situation, was very independent in her choice and clear about it, and don't stay in yuckiness, right? You have to know who you're partnering with. You also have to know who you're friending, who you're befriending. When your parents say, "Nah, them people ain't nothing like us," that's for a reason. When they wouldn't let you go down the street to Johnny and them house because they people was different, it's for a reason.
And them uncles hanging around.
It's a different situation because my mama didn't let that slide.
Same here.
Wasn't nobody sitting around no kids. Kids wasn't sitting around no adults, and we wasn't sitting on nobody's laps type stuff.
Okay.
So certain things you just couldn't. I couldn't be a part of. But a lot of times we're too loose in society. We're so in this social media phase where we think girl groups, guy groups, we got to all be the same. We all got to be linked up. We're not interested in people doing anything different. I might be into fishing, but you're not. But maybe I'm going with some polka dot people who don't speak my language, and we end up being really good friends because I tapped into my interests.
There you go.
We have lost sight of what friendship really should be encouraging, which is shared interests, shared partnership, fellowship, development, growth, accountability, healing. I should be able to go to my friends and get a little bit of that healing because that's what Black folks are communal. We learn from people that we think love us. We learn from teachers and educators and aunties and people on the block that we think care. If you don't care about me, we don't really connect. So it's interesting that we stay in relationships where we're not being cared for. And when did that start for you?
Yeah.
When did you start engaging in relationships where people could mistreat you and it's okay with you?
Well, give us a couple of things. Why do
Yeah.
people? We got to
People
call, but
say-
just hold on, caller.
One
Just,
of the things
let's
again
get
was
a couple.
the modeled behavior. I
Yes.
don't know healthy friendships. I don't know healthy relationships. The other one is a lack of self-value. People say self-esteem, self-worth. I want to talk about self-value. What do I value in self, right? Fear of the adjustment. People keep talking about it's a fear of being alone. Sometimes it's the fear of the adjustment. What is going to take for me to stop hanging with Alisia when she calls, when she texts,
that void that I'm
that I'm going to have, but also how do I do it?
Yeah.
How do I effectively move myself out of a situation? Because people think we talk about it like it's easy.
Right.
It is not easy.
All right.
To break off a relationship with somebody that you've had for decades that no longer serves you.
Give us one more reason why. Then we're gonna take you, caller. We're coming.
Well, absolute loneliness. If I don't roll with this group, this person, this friend, you see what I'm talking about, sir? Then who will I be with?
The fear of being, I'd rather be with a piece of something versus something, like by myself.
All that.
Because sometimes loneliness could be blind with the person you want to run with.
Yeah.
It could be the wrong person you run with because you're being lonely because you're blind by it, and it might be the toxic.
I love that. I love it. I love it. Thank you for those. We're gonna get a few more, but we got to take this caller.
Okay.
Caller, do you have a comment or a question?
Hi, this is the lady that called with a 34-year relationship.
Yes, welcome back.
I was listening to what you were saying, and you had a question about who, well, I don't know, forgot that word to use, but anyway, I didn't watch anyone as I was growing up in a relationship with my mom or my dad. Never had a relationship with him, so she never had one. I was made and I was done. Yeah. But when I got with him, I didn't follow anyone. I followed me and my heart. So that's why I stayed with him for so long, because he loved me and I loved him.
Right.
But yeah, I did bring it to the forefront that I wanted to be his wife. I just wasn't waiting on him to ask me. I told him that's what I wanted. But when he finally told me he wasn't going to marry me, it was time for me to leave. Because I did all I could do for 34 years. I ain't got no more to give you.
Yeah.
Well, we
I deserved it out of nothing.
You absolutely. Commend you for actually taking that courageous step, because a lot of people just settle and stay. So good for you. Hey, guess what? We're coming up on a break already. I tell you, this
all right, you ladies have a blessed one.
We appreciate you. Hey, listen, you're listening to Nyumba, Upendo, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You're listening to our show, Dr.Alisia, Moutry, Simone Kilgore. Don't go anywhere. We got some nice stuff at the end. Stick around, please. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Nyumba Upendo, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We're so happy to have you back. In case you just tuned in, we've been talking about one-sided relationships, and I was talking about that's not enough. I want full price energy. I want full price relationship. That's what I deserve. So we started talking about the characteristics of a relationship, a healthy relationship. Again, not just romantic. We're talking about family. We're talking about friends. We're talking about coworkers, whatever it may be, whichever relationship you want to be. Then we started talking about why is it that so many people stay in these relationships. So before we break, we talked about sometimes it's, the work of work. I just wanted to have a couple of others that I want to throw in there. Some more I'll tag it to you to say, does any of them resonate or anything coming in your mind? So sometimes people stay in these one-sided relationships because they have a hope. I stay in it, but if I just put more into it, eventually they're gonna come around, right? And sometimes that we stick around and hope is not a strategy. It's a blueprint. Hope is not a strategy. Sometimes you stick in there because of hoping for change. Another thing that why people stay in is because they normalize so again, if you've been in an environment where disrespect or emotional neglect or is common, you stick around because you start to believe that's the way that it should be, and it's okay. But it's not okay. But you stay in that toxic stuff so long that I can smell it in the air. The smell eventually starts to smell good. But then you know it stinks. Well, it's so interesting that you talk about that because it just made me, and I know we talked over the break, but that idea of like, yes, staying in toxic situations. I met with a friend, I can say this um, Monday for lunch, and we talked about this idea around staying and what our children see all and what you are saying as your spirit. Every day that you stand in the mirror and you know it's not you, you know you're not well, you know this is not growing, you know it's not going to get better because you tried seven different things, whether it's counseling or prayer, fasting, where it's silent treatment, where it's separation. You try everything and it just don't work. You talk to your friend, you set boundaries, you told your neighbors not to do this, whatever. You try, but you stay. And sometimes you stay out of guilt and obligation. Let me tell you how that's so deadly, deadly, so horrible for your spirit. You don't edify the spirit. You stay, you feel stuck, you will change how you treat that person, how you see them, and how you see the relationship, which is a whole entity that involves the two people.
Yeah.
But the relationship on its own is just suffering. Why not pull the plug? To make everybody safe, to get everybody to the life jacket, let's pull the plug. You stand and your kids are saying, you stand and you're not being the best you can be in this relationship. You stand but that friend is like, damn, that dude, that girl, that person, he's like, you're family. And you have it sweet, right? And make the proper adjustment. Well, you can't sit around and blame everybody for your role if you right. You don't get to blame me for that. You get you you did it. And you don't get to stay in toxic, horrible, guilt-ridden relationships because you think if you that other person is going to sit. You're not God, nor should you be a God. And if you want a better life, take the steps towards health. Your children will be healthier. You will be healthier. Your next grouping of people will be healthier. If you get to a new relationship, you will enter them healthier. Everybody don't love. You got a plan to get out the same way. That's your booty in there. Sure, I'm just saying, okay. Oh, you did. What? Oh, you got on it. You got on it. Well, that kind of leads to that final one. A lot of people say it was denial. Because sometimes people simply don't want to face the truth. Well, how many of us use denial as truth? All of us have it. Some people, whether it's with a job or whatever. But to stay stuck in denial is to stay blind to yourself. Yeah. Denial can be a powerful defense. You know, people avoid painful until you can't get it anymore. And if you don't want to avoid it anymore, because we don't never just give you the information without saying, hey, if you want to change some of the relationships
Write down pros and cons. Write down where you
Something
want
old
the
school.
relationship to go. Write down where the relationship has been. Write down the benefits of the relationship. And write down if you believe that in the adjustment, the shifting of the relationship, how I want to operate in the relationship now will be better for both parties. And if that's the case, go ahead and have that conversation. But journaling, writing for me, quiet time, alone time, reflecting, maybe talking to the other person, really, really helps make positive choices. Caller, we got a caller on the line. Caller, I need you to have a quick comment or a quick question. We're rolling up at the end, and we got to make sure we close out with a few more strategies. Caller, comment, or a question? Which is really good.
Okay, this is a quick comment. You ain't got nothing to say. That person died, you can do nothing in the hospital, but the family put on not you. You ain't got no social security or pieces from that person you've been with for 34 years. He didn't want you because it's time for your divorce after 34 years. Why would he want to marry you at this point? After 3 or 4 years, if somebody put your foot down and keep it moving. But that person has a low self-esteem. They don't want to let me with friends and family without some kind of story or he or she don't want me to know. So really, good.
You did that quick. Hey,
Social
caller,
security,
we appreciate
no
you.
benefits. You don't qualify for nothing.
And a lot of times, what she's saying, like the caller is saying, when you look back at these relationships and do what we just talked about, it's evaluate. Sometimes you look in your pocketbook or your wallet and ain't nothing there. And that's basically what the caller is saying. When I look back over my life and I think things over, come on, Princess
Oh, he had his organ.
I know he's doing it, right? When I look back over my life and think things over, I want to make sure that people have the confidence and that I'm doing the same. When you look back at it, how much time is spent on things that harm you, hurt you, don't benefit you, are toxic to you, and how much are you going to keep bringing that into your life? Wow. Yeah. I think those are beautiful things, and as listeners are on today, we just really like ask you to reflect. Whichever relationship popped in your mind, you had this dialogue, and you could see somebody. And we were talking about it. Again, was it a coworker? Was it a family member? Was it somebody romantically? Was it a platonic relationship? Is it absolutely? Think about that. And again, if it's not serving you some joy, if it's not serving you, which is okay for you to be in relationships with others that serve you too. You don't black woman have to be the person that carries and catches it all. Society has dictated that women are just taking a crack and you don't have to. I'm going to put it in 4 words. Key aspects of a good relationship: love, respect, trust. Communication. We'll say those 4 again: love, respect, trust, and communication. Now, what are your final words? Again, with your you never stop looking at these relationships and evaluating. Do I still need this? And if I do, do I still need it? A healthy relationship never requires you to sacrifice your dreams, or your dignity. And so this time we've been together, we've been talking about no more disciplined relationship. We want full of Christ. Yeah, we want full. I need all your energy. I want all your energy. As we close out, I also want to just share with a quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou used those words there. I can't thank you enough for co-hosting with me, a guest co-host today. Again, we just pray that the information provided today has blessed somebody, and that not only that you heard it, but you do something with the information that we provided today. Milwaukee, we love you. You are listening to Nyumba Upendo, House of Love. WNOB 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll see you next Wednesday at 11